to get your fix.
Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready to get your fix?
With the Wicks here on this beautiful Monday, October 18th, 2021, and welcome to the show. What a slate of Week 6 games we had yesterday, and now I am currently 11-2 from my game picks that we did last Friday, I guess, on Fantasy Football Friday with team owner of Full Chubb, Logan Dynamite Baumgard, and team owner of Fantasy Football Team Y4 or John, whatever you want to call him. I call him, a little bit of both. All right, but I'm 11-2. That's making me pretty pumped up. If tonight goes as planned, I'll finish the week or week 6 at 12-2. So that's fucking stellar. I'm pumped about that. Didn't think I was going to be that accurate, making my game picks, but hey, I could have been a lot more accurate, could have been undefeated, but Baltimore Ravens decided to just shit all over the Chargers, and the Browns decided to, the refs decided to blow the game for the Browns, in which we're going to get to those two games in a bit. But anyways, I hope you all had an amazing weekend doing whatever the fuck you did, because I'm sure it was a good weekend for most of you anyways. If not, hey, there's always this week and this upcoming weekend as well. So let us get to the world of football. Are you ready to get your fix? Well, hey, we had one of the, actually not undefeated teams, one of the winless teams. The Jacksonville Jaguars pull off a victory in London Town. All right, they took on the Miami Dolphins and ended up beating them 23-20 in what was actually a pretty solid game for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Not so much the Miami Dolphins. Who are the Miami Dolphins? All right, we have True Identity Tuesday tomorrow. We might talk about them a little bit, but at the same time, it's we don't really know what the Dolphins are going to be down the road. I mean, this game they were out Xavier Howard, Byron Jones, so their top two corners weren't playing. Did that play a factor? Probably. Does play calling play a factor? Probably. Tua was back in the starting lineup. Did pretty solid for the most part, 33 for 47 with 329 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. So he didn't have that bad of a day by any means. I think, the offense for the Miami Dolphins actually played up to par, played how they were actually supposed to play. It's just on the defensive side of things, they got to figure some things out. It would have helped tremendously to have Xavier Howard there and Byron Jones as well. But hey, this is a huge win for Jacksonville. They're coming off all that Urban Meyer talk about him in that chop house that he was, doing his own thing in, I guess. But hey, hell of a win for Jacksonville, 23-20. Like I said, the Dolphins played well on offense. Mike Gesicki had 8 catches, 115 yards. Jalen Waddell actually balled out, had a career day up to this point. He is a rookie receiver. We were looking for him to kind of, break out of that little, rookie slump, if you will. Not really a slump, but, he's a rookie. You're waiting for him to kind of flourish into a star wide receiver. And I think last night we seen a big glimpse of what might be to come in his future. I mean, this dude had 10 catches for 70 yards. He had 2 touchdowns. Really, he was Tua's number one target the entire game. I think he had 13 targets the whole game or the entire game. So that was really nice to see, especially being a young receiver, especially being a receiver that played with Tua once in Alabama. That was nice to see for the Miami Dolphins. Jalen Waddell, I mean, he balled out, had a day. He's looking like he's going to be the Miami Dolphins' number one receiver in the future. Okay, not at this point. They still have Devontae Parker, who didn't play as well last night. But, they got some things to work on defensively. Offensively, I think they can figure it out and they can be just fine. Now it's just how the hell do we stop these teams? Okay, that's the big part. The Jacksonville Jaguars played a phenomenal game. I guess not really phenomenal, but for them it's phenomenal because we've seen their celebration at the end, just fucking jumping up like they just won the goddamn Super Bowl. But I mean, they didn't. They just finally fucking got their first win of the season, which is pretty big, especially coming off all that Urban Meyer bullshit. Gotta figure out a way to get this hockey puck to just fucking stay. You know what I'm saying? But back to the game. Jags did really, really well. Trevor Lawrence looked okay. Still looking like a rookie, obviously, out there. He went 25-41, 319 yards, and a touchdown. He also fumbled the ball on one of his rushes. I think he lost that fumble. But really, this game, I wasn't expecting too much, okay? But at the same time, I was expecting, obviously, the Jags to win. We talked about it on Friday, where it's like, hey, they have played in London quite a bit consistently, have played really well in London. And, I mean, we seen, okay, so last week on Sunday, they had the London game, right? You look at all, like, the banners that are, like, how do you want to say it, like, around the outside of the field or whatever, like, so you can see, like, all the banners and stuff. And it was just all about London, okay? This Sunday, fucking the whole field was just decked out in Jacksonville Jaguars, memorabilia, fucking ribbons and whatever, signs of Jacksonville Jaguars. It's because they fucking, they play that. That's their home, damn near. That's their home away from home in Jacksonville, or I guess in London. And I think that helped them tremendously win, or helped them a lot to end up winning this game ultimately, 23-20. Because, you play there so often, eventually you're going to start gaining more and more and more fans. Now, granted, each Sunday that we had games in London, you see the stands, right? Everybody's wearing fucking every single jersey you could think of. They're probably wearing this one, they're probably wearing that, they're probably wearing this, they're probably wearing Lamar, they're probably wearing, like, literally every single team, or every single team's jersey you could see in that stadium. I've seen multiple Vikings, I've seen some Browns, I've seen some Bucks, like, literally everyone. So I think that is a good thing to continue going down the road. I highly doubt, obviously, we're ever going to move a team there or have an NFL team established over there just because of the time differential and whatnot. But I like having these games played over there. I hate how it's fucking 8:30 in the morning. Wish it was a little bit later. Wish they could figure something out along those lines. Maybe make it like 9:30, 10 or something like that. So, but it is what it is. It's football. It's fun to watch and get up for. Jacksonville Jaguars got a win with a thriller, okay? And their kicker, the Jacksonville Jaguars kicker, Matt Wright, he just got fucking signed off the practice squad or whatever to the roster a day before this game. Dude comes out and fucking kicks a ball, right? Starts going to wide right, and I'm like, well, he fucking missed this, and curves right back in. It's good. Barely got it. I even went on Twitter. I'm like, what the fuck is this sorcery? Like, how the hell does that ball, just look like it's going to go straight, starts curving right. There's no fucking chance it's coming in, and then just tails right back in. Must have been huge gust of wind for him, or maybe the football gods were looking down on Matt Wright when he kicked that one, but he made it. He ended up kicking another one that was actually the game winner for the Jacksonville Jaguars, who now are sitting at 1-6. So another game, we're going to go off of this to the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Carolina Panthers, in which it was sort of a thriller, but at the same time, if you're a Minnesota Vikings fan, you're like, again? Are you fucking serious? Like, what? Dude, like, okay, the Vikings end up beating the Carolina Panthers 34-28, in overtime. Okay? From the looks of it, obviously this was a big defensive battle. The Minnesota Vikings offense played really, really well, where the Carolina Panthers offense really, it was there for the most part, but it's like, you go look at all their stats, and, it was okay. Nothing great. You didn't see a guy stand out like Sam Darnold really didn't stand out. Robbie Anderson, he stood out for, I think, about 1 million drops he had on the day. He catches at least 5 of those balls. We're looking at a closer game. We're looking at potentially the Carolina Panthers beating the Minnesota Vikings, and that is tough to kind of swallow or chew and swallow, I guess. But they had a rough day. Patrick Peterson played out of his mind, guess, guarding or being right next to DJ Moore pretty much the entire game, holding him to only, I think, 60 or so yards or something like that. No touchdowns on the day. But this Minnesota Vikings team, for as well as they have played on offense, okay, and for the most part, they look okay on defense. Like, they have the potential to do good things and, hold opposing offenses to, less points than what the Vikings can put up. But at the same time, it's like, God, we gotta figure it out a little bit more so we don't get stuck in fucking close game after close game after close game. Literally, the only game the Vikings should have lost this year is against Cleveland Browns. Okay, let's be real. I mean, we should beat Cincinnati. We should beat the Arizona Cardinals. We beat the Seahawks. We come out against the Browns. We lose. We should beat who was it? We beat last week's team, the Lions, or not the Lions. What the fuck? Yeah, we beat the Lions, and then we come out in another close game, beat the Carolina Panthers. But it's like, we should fucking figure this out. We should be 5-1 at this point. Vikings looked awesome. Okay, Kirk Cousins looking like a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. This dude went 33 for 48, 373 yards, 3 tutties on the day. Dalvin Cook had 29 rushes, 140 yards on the ground, 1 touchdown. I found it kind of crazy that he had 140 yards. Didn't look like that during the whole game. I mean, it kind of was like piecing together here and there these chunks of yards for him. But 140 and a tutty, that's pretty good. Adam Thielen was Kirk Cousins' number 1 receiver on the day with 11 catches, 126 yards, and a touchdown. Justin Jefferson did his part as well. I think he had over 70 or over 80, something like that. Did really well, did a really good job, I guess, if you will. But it all came down to overtime. Okay, somehow this game ended up fucking getting tied 28-28. Really kind of blew my mind. If you will, I guess. I was like, what the hell? Like, this all over again. Okay. Going to overtime, we fucking get the ball, we drive down the field, and Kirk Cousins finds KJ Osborne right in the end zone, and he fucking dives, touchdown, game over, how you doing, keep it moving. Minnesota Vikings beat the Carolina Panthers in an overtime thriller, 34-28. Pretty good game for the most part, but we got to figure something out. We put up 34 points against one of the best defenses at this point in the NFL. But yet we let up 28. And I guess you can say that goes right back to Zimmer. And I know we talked about enough fire Zimmer talk and stuff like that. I'm not saying fire the man. I'm saying figure this goddamn thing out. He is our coach for not only this season, he is our coach for next season, and I believe another year after that. So let's get used to it, okay, folks? He's a good coach. All right? It's just we got to figure a little things out. Okay, this is a whole brand new team. This is a brand new spectrum that he has to go out there and try to control. I mean, Patrick Peterson came over, Xavier Woods is new, Michael Pierce is new, Dalvin Tomlinson's new. I mean, what do you want from the guy? New. Okay, you're not going to be fucking stellar right off the bat with a bunch of fucking new guys. Like, granted, some of them are veterans. It's like, no, you got to let this thing kind of mold itself together. And we'll go from there, if you will, okay? Vikings win a big one, 34-28, moved to 3-3 on the season. I believe they're tied for second in the division, right with the Chicago Bears, behind the Green Bay Packers, who just won again, which we'll get to in just a bit. But now let's talk about that other winless team in the NFL. Currently sitting at 0-6 after they lost this weekend. Actually not lost, got fucking demolished, got their teeth kicked in. The Detroit Lions sitting at 0-6, losing to the Bengals 34-11. They fucking stink, dude. These guys are fucking bad. Like, I don't even know what else to say really besides the Lions are garbage. Okay, they might be the worst team in the NFL. Granted, the Texans are right there with them. Texans aren't any good at all, but the Detroit Lions, man, like, you gotta figure something out over there. Okay, last week we had fucking MCDC. I just feel so bad, man. Like, dude. And then this week he comes out just fucking pissed. He's like, this is bullshit. We should have won this game. The Cincinnati Bengals, the hell have they been? Well, actually, the Cincinnati Bengals are have been a pretty fucking good team, if you ask me. Okay, Bengals for some reason are just playing out of their mind. Okay, especially after that preseason shenanigans with Jamar Chase saying, this ball's kind of hard, a little different to catch, got stripes on it, a little bigger. I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll see what happens. Well, fucking, this dude's unreal, playing absolutely unreal. Might win Offensive Rookie of the Year, at least in my mind at this point. He very easily could do so. He's putting up a year that's, if not similar, a little bit better than what Justin Jefferson did last year. Now, it's going to be a 17-game season compared to 16 from last year, so we'll see how that goes. But this fucking Detroit Lions team is absolutely garbage, and in my mind, they might fucking go 0-17. They might, okay? They might be the first team in NFL history to go 0-16 and 0-17 in two different types of formats for games, and I think it's going to happen, okay? Because in their next 5 games, they play the Rams. They're going to lose. They play the Eagles. Probably going to lose. Jalen Hurts is playing phenomenal. They get Miles Sanders going. I think the Eagles would easily take this game. Now, that one's kind of up in the air. It could go either way, but I still think the Eagles are going to take that one. And then after that, they got the bye week, obviously. Then they go take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're going to fucking lose that one, too. And then they got the Cleveland Browns. If the Cleveland Browns are healthy, but like as of right now, they got a fucking laundry list of injuries. But even with those injuries, I still think the Browns fucking win that one. And I think like right after that, let's go take a quick gander, okay, at the Detroit Lions fucking the rest of their schedule, because this is awful, folks. All right, after the Browns, they got the Bears, they're gonna lose. They got the Minnesota Vikings. We already beat them in a close one. We probably should beat them again. Then they got the Denver Broncos. That's probably the only game I'm thinking, all right, Detroit might have a chance. Might go 1-16. Maybe. We'll see. And then after that, they got Cardinals. They'll lose. Falcons. That's another one's kind of but the Falcons are playing out of their mind. Cordell Patterson's playing good. Mike Davis is all right. You know, if they get Calvin Ridley back, this team could be fucking pretty stellar, okay? Pretty stellar. Could beat the Detroit Lions. Then after that, they got the Seattle Seahawks. They'll lose. They have the Green Bay Packers. They'll lose. They're looking like a team that is about to go 0-17. Oops, that sucks. It really sucks for them. They just go out, try to get Jared Goff, try to see if that's going to fix the puzzle. It's not. All right, Marvin Jones, gone. Kenny Golladay, gone. What do they got? Jeff Okudah, injured. Like, these guys have absolutely nothing to work with except fucking Jared Goff. And he ain't even playing that well. Lions stink. Okay, plain and simple, the Lions suck. They're terrible. 0-17 might be a really good prediction for the Detroit Lions going forward in this 2021 NFL season. So let's go over to another team that's kind of struggling a little bit. All right, the Kansas City Chiefs. Okay, they come out. It's the Washington football team. They're at home. Okay, not the Chiefs. The Washington football team are at home. Sean Taylor's number gets retired. Patrick Mahomes' fucking brother wants to be a dumbass and start dancing on Sean Taylor's fucking number that was on the sideline doing his TikToks. Get that man out of here. Ban him from the NFL. I don't want to see his ass at all in any stadium because he is nothing but a scumbag. All right, like that guy was killed a long time ago. Very, very influential in the sport of football. Grow up. Like, quit being a fucking 14-year-old doing your TikTok dances like Juju Smith-Schuster on the Bengals logo. I'm surprised you guys didn't fucking lose. But the Chiefs struggled really early, okay, in this Washington football game. Right off the bat, the Chiefs ended up winning 31-13 after struggling in that first half. They were down 13-10 coming out of the first half into that third quarter, and it's just like, what is going on? I mean, this is not a super good Washington football team by any means. Like, they're nothing special, okay? That Chiefs defense needs a lot of help. Defensive backs, they need to pick it up tremendously. Linebackers, they're non-existent. Their defensive line really only has fucking Frank Clark and with Chris Jones or whatever. Those two are balling out still like usual. They should, obviously. They just got big money or got big paychecks coming their way, so they should be solid. But they're not. Okay, this Chiefs team, we have known for the past 2-3 years to put up points like that in a blink of an eye. That's what they ended up doing. That's because they had to do that. Otherwise, they ultimately, probably lose this game or end up losing this game to the Washington football team. But they just came out the second half and absolutely shit all over the football team after celebrating Sean Taylor's number being retired by the Washington football team, only coming out 3 days prior, that news, I should say, coming out that his number was going to be retired. But really, basically, it's just like, what's going on with the Chiefs? And I go right back to Patrick Mahomes. I go right back to that defense, because obviously that defense needs a lot of work. But Patrick Mahomes seems like he needs to do it all, and he needs to do it all by himself. No, you don't, dude. Obviously Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce out there, but Patrick Mahomes goes out there trying to make a lot of plays. Dude had 6 interceptions last year. I think he has 7 or 8 this year now or something like that. He comes out and has 397 passing yards, 2 tutties, 2 interceptions. Really not that great of a game. Okay, he had all the yards. He had a couple tutties, but those picks really just throw him under the bus. Like, hey, dude, you got to figure it out, because teams are starting to pick him up left and right, knowing what he's going to do with the ball, and that's not good. And honestly, if I have to make a hot take right now, which I actually did earlier when I was working, I'm just working away, Chipotle, that is, not fucking whatever you guys were thinking at that point. But I said, and I'm going to stick with this, there's no fucking way the Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl. No way. Okay? No possible way unless they get some studs, okay, before the trade deadline. But there's no possible way this Kansas City Chiefs team makes the playoffs. Or not makes the Super Bowl, excuse me. I have a feeling that they're still going to make the playoffs. They're a good enough team to do so. But once they get to the playoffs, I think they're going to have a tough go of it. When you get to the playoffs, team starts 0-0. It's a clean slate. Good luck. Have fun. See what happens at the end of regulation and stuff like that. But they're not going to the Super Bowl. They're not going to win a Super Bowl this year. They have some work to do defensively. Patrick Mahomes has to figure it out a little bit. Stop trying to do everything yourself. Let the rest of the team kind of help you out, a little bit more, okay? That is basically what I have for that Chiefs game, because the Chiefs just shit all over Washington in that second half. First half struggled, like I said. But big win for the Kansas City Chiefs, who now, I believe, are sitting at 3-3 as well. I think they are now second in their division, or tied for second in their division, I want to say, with the Las Vegas Raiders, which they got a big win over the Denver Broncos, 34-24. I really didn't get to see that game. I was watching other games, but that's a notable game to kind of look. That was one game that I had picked. I said the Raiders are going to win because, hey, special teams coordinator's coming on. Really, this team has to rally around that guy. He deals with literally every single position group on the football field. They should be just fine. They beat the Denver Broncos, who are not that good of a team, but they have potential, obviously. But the Kansas City Chiefs, big win there over the Washington football team. So now we kind of talk about a couple struggling teams, We got fucking the Jags getting that dub. Vikes having a lot of close games. Got to stop that shit. The Lions, who stink. The Chiefs, who struggled early but ended up just mowing over the Washington football team. But now it's time to talk about a team that remains the only undefeated team in the NFL. That is the Arizona Cardinals at 6-0. This game was supposed to be the game of the week, probably one of the most electrifying games, or was supposed to be that way. Weather wasn't that great, ended up having to be, not as bad as we thought it was going to end up to be, I guess. There was a hailstorm briefly before or something like that. I can't remember if it was that game or if it was a different game. I'm pretty sure it was that Browns game, but it was windy as shit. We thought there was going to be a big running, there was going to be a lot of running going on. But basically what this game entailed was the refs just fucking flag, just waiting for that right moment to just throw that flag. They're like, okay, what's this guy going to be doing? Literally, this is what they were doing. They were out there just sitting, and they were just, penalty, encroachment, or whatever you want to say, or fucking, I don't even know their signs really, but fucking, you know what I mean, like, offsides, false start, something like that. Just bullshit calls. There was one call. I don't know how the hell this was not reversed, okay? roughing the passer on Kyler Murray. I hope to God he's okay. I mean, he's in my thoughts and my prayers right now. He's probably in some hospital bed laying down because this is just a gruesome hit. All right? I mean, fucking, he drops back to pass. He's going to the left a little bit, and he throws it, but he gets smacked right after, hits the ground, flop. I'm just kidding. I don't have no thoughts, no prayers. He's okay. But basically what happened, they thought this Arizona Cardinals player fucking drilled him. No, wrong. They showed the replay, and the Cardinals fucking guy took the Browns dude and shoved him. Or no, what was that? Yeah, or something like that. Into Kyler, I believe it was. Or if it was the other way around. But you get the gist, okay? Wasn't a roughing the passer. This was solely from the offensive lineman pushing the defensive lineman into the quarterback. Not a penalty. Definitely should have been. I mean, there was fucking 10 penalties in the first fucking 10 minutes, I think you would say. If Logan's watching, he could definitely help me on that one. But it was just a shit show. These refs are fucking garbage this year. It is bad. Don't know why it is this way. It's just ridiculous. But there was a lot of penalties. And ultimately, I think the Cardinals ended up beating the Browns 37-14. Basically because after all those penalties, I mean, I think the refs literally fucking took that momentum from the Browns and said, we'll see you later. All right? Have fun playing this game of whatever you guys are playing. And took off. Because, I mean, they literally penalty, Baker fumble, Baker interception. Just little things. Pissed him off, pissed the Browns off. They couldn't get in that feng shui, that fucking right groove of things to get things going. Ultimately, the Cardinals just let the refs win this game for them. Now, I'm not saying it was entirely the refs' fault. Because, I mean, obviously these guys played the game. There's athletes on the field other than the refs. But the refs were a big reason in that game. They were also, shitty in that Green Bay and Packers game. They were okay last night in some Sunday Night Football. But basically the Cardinals remain undefeated because of the refs in this game. Just ripping every little fucking bit of momentum, groove, anything you want to say, away from the Browns and saying, have fun, how you doing, keep it moving. Cardinals win 37-14. This is one game that I had the Browns winning. I thought it was going to be a lot closer than what it ultimately ended up to being. I mean, it was a bad game to watch right away. One of a guest of the show or a co-host or whatever you will of the show, John even said, he was like, well, this is just a shit show. Like, what is going on, basically? And then he stopped watching the game. He literally had to stop watching the game. We start talking about it, start thinking, oh, hey, Browns are coming back. At one point, I think it was 27 or 20-something, 21 or 20 to like 14. Browns are starting to like make a little comeback here. And John's like, so I have to turn the game on again? I'm like, yeah, probably, because we could be seeing a comeback here. But really, ultimately, what this game was fucking refs, left and right, just fucking flags. Cardinals marching down the field, winning this game against the Cleveland Browns. Sorry, Logan. It was a tough one. I know you're pissed, but there's always next week. And they lose 37-14. So now let's get to the Baltimore fucking Ravens. This team. What the hell? Like, okay, at first, the entire first 5 weeks were basically Lamar Jackson winning you every single goddamn week. Like, literally. Except for the first week when he lost to the Raiders. It's the Lamar Jackson show. Well, the Ravens come out here and just say, let's kick the shit out of the Chargers today. They beat the Chargers 34-6. Okay, there was a couple questionable calls that Brandon Staley made, like going forward on his own 19, where he ultimately failed to convert. Ravens get the ball, they score. I think it happened more than once during that game. I mean, typical just play calling, I guess, shenanigans that went wrong or something, whatever you want to call it. But they got to figure something out over there. Chargers looked like a real fucking good team the first 5 weeks, right? thinking, okay, this team could probably win this division. They're on a roll, 4-1, looking good, looking healthy. Justin Herbert's balling, Austin Eckler's balling, Mike Williams is balling, Keenan Allen's okay. Their defense is fucking awesome. The Ravens coming to town and saying they're really not that good. No, we're a better team. The Ravens just flat out outplayed the Los Angeles Chargers, where the Chargers, Justin Herbert only had 195 yards passing, 1 touchdown, had an interception. He was also their leading rusher with 12 yards. Yeah. Austin Eckler couldn't get anything going, okay, at all. I hope he didn't get hurt. I really didn't get to see this game. I watched the ending of this game, especially because, I kept going back to the sports app, kept looking, seeing what the score was, and I was like, oh my God, like, what the hell happened? Like, what's going on with the Raiders? Congrats for Y4 for saying the Ravens were going to fucking win this game, because I did not think they were going to win, especially win in this fashion, 34-6. It's like, oh my goodness, what's going on there? I think the Chargers are okay. I think it was just one of those days where they just couldn't play football for whatever reason. We've all been there. We've been all been on teams. Maybe some of us not. But we've been on teams where it's like, all right, we're rolling here. We're rolling. We just get fucking smacked in the mouth. We can't do shit one game. We lose fucking, by a lot. And it's like, all right, well, we got to be humbled sometime, I guess. That's kind of what the Ravens did to the Chargers, kind of humble them a little bit. Make sure that, hey, listen, you're not going to be the top dog in the AFC this year. We are. And that's exactly what the Ravens did. Went out there, won a really good game. Now, what are the Ravens? Okay, Ravens have literally only been Lamar Jackson, okay, the last 5 weeks. This week was a little bit of a different story where the Ravens had 3 running backs score a touchdown. Okay, Devontae Freeman scores a touchdown. Latavius Murray scores a touchdown. Le'Veon fucking Bell finally gets his ass off the bench and onto the field wearing number 17. I gotta take a moment to soak that in, because when I seen it, I was baffled. Wearing number 17, scores a touchdown. Have you ever seen a running back wear the number 17? I've only seen quarterbacks wear the number 17. Maybe a wide receiver every now and then, but a running back goes out there and you're like, who the hell's that? And like, Le'Veon Bell scores a touchdown. Like that was, he chose that number. He chose 17. Why? That's basically all I want to know. I was like, what the fuck? 17. That was pretty much the biggest ball buster, brain buster, whatever you want to say, of that game for me, other than obviously the Ravens kicking the shit out of the Chargers 34-6. But I was like, 17? Like, why are you wearing that number? Like, good for you, dude. Awesome. Change your number, please. Like, I think it'd be best for you, for me, for fans, for the team. It just did not look okay. You do not look like a running back out there wearing number fucking 17. Go watch the film and watch yourself run with that number. It does not look pretty. Okay, it just looked weird. But the Ravens, okay, other than that, their defense is a big reason why they won this game. 7 pass deflections, had 1 interception, had a combined solo and assist tackles of 44 throughout the whole game. Huge day for that Ravens defense in securing the 34-6 win over the Los Angeles Chargers, who for some reason just couldn't get it done, didn't come to play, didn't pack their bags at all, just fucking said, all right, we got the Ravens, give them the win. That's basically what it felt like. Ravens win this one, move to 5-1 on the season. I believe they are now at number 1 in their division. Cincinnati is now at number 2 at 4-2. The Steelers and the Steelers are 3-3. Excuse me. And the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns are back to last in their division at 2-4. What a weird change of events there, all right? Thinking Cleveland Brown might have to win this division. Now there's a lot of season left to play, okay? 6 games, 11 more games that have to be played. Browns probably not, at least in my eyes, hopefully, are not going to be at the bottom of their division, because that would suck, especially for owner of Full Chubb, wherever he is. I feel for you. It sucks, but they are back to where we know and love them to be last in their division. Hopefully they pick it up, though, obviously. They got the Broncos this Thursday, in which they should fucking walk all over that game, rest some of their players that don't really need to play this one. Might be a battle at that point, but hey, I got some faith in the Browns because they're looking good. Their superstars are all over the field, so it is what it is. But the Ravens roll past the Chargers 34-6. Now, right before we get to noting the other games, we are going to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers, who just got over a pretty solid win. It was all right, but it was a thriller, and they won an overtime thriller against Seattle Seahawks. All right, they won 23-20 in overtime. Definitely should have never been an overtime game. That defense is completely healthy from the looks of it anyways. TJ Watt was balling out. He actually assaulted some man last night, fucking punching the ball out. It is what it is, but he did hit him right in the stomach, right in the face mask, it looked like almost. But Steelers won that game in decent fashion. I think one takeaway from that game that we can all agree on, or at least I can agree on for sure, because this is my fucking words, my opinion. Najee Harris is the man for Pittsburgh. Juju Smith-Schuster's out. Who do we give the ball to? Let's give it to fucking Najee. Let him run all over the field. He is their leading rusher. Was their leading rusher last night with 81 yards. He was technically their leading receiver because of his touchdown, but he had less yards than Deontay Johnson, who had 70, where Najee Harris only had 46 yards and a touchdown. So that was pretty solid for him. But basically, with Juju out, okay, they're obviously down a weapon. They got Deontay Johnson, who's playing awesome. I think they got James Washington. Really wasn't much a part of that offense last night. They have Najee Harris in that back. They have Pat Freiermuth. He is a dog as well. Had a really, really nice day. I think he was actually second, with like 58 yards receiving on 7 catches on 7 targets. Looked like a pretty decent tight end that's going to go further in the season, I think. Maybe in his career, he's going to be one of the top tight ends in this league. He is a really, really solid guy out there for them. But Najee Harris is basically that whole Steelers offense. Big Ben, he can get it done here and there. Obviously, we see him beat the Seattle Seahawks last night without a Russell Wilson, without a Chris Carson. I mean, DK Metcalf couldn't catch the ball. I mean, he could, but really wasn't doing much. Tyler Lockett really wasn't doing much. Seattle really just got outplayed, basically, is what it came down to. But for the most part, I think Geno Smith, all right, looked pretty solid there, all right? 209 passing yards and a touchdown. He also ran for a couple yards, obviously, because you have to do that when you're on the Seattle Seahawks, because that offensive line is not the greatest. You're going to have to fucking scramble, and this is Russell Wilson's offense. The play calling is probably all for him. Geno Smith is probably like a tier down, so they're tier 1, tier 2. He's probably like a tier 2 of a Russell Wilson, if you will, or tier 3. So they play similar styles of football, and that showed last night where Geno actually played exceptionally well, tying this game, sending it to overtime. Ended up losing. Sucks for you guys. It is what it is. You're in the NFC. We don't need you to win the games because the Minnesota Vikings need to make the fucking playoffs this year. We're at 3-3, so that's huge. But another guy that picked up or has stepped up huge for the Seattle Seahawks is Alex Collins. Okay, the running back, Chris Carson's out. Alex Collins steps in. Has a beautiful night. He had 20 rushes, 101 yards, and a touchdown. Did phenomenal things in that game. But the Steelers ultimately win this one in an overtime thriller, 23-20. But before I move on, there was a... How do I want to say it? I'm just going to put that down. There was a pretty gruesome hit last night. And it wasn't purposeful. It was on accident. But it really kind of took my breath away a little bit. Because, so I was watching, and this guy is getting blocked, and he tries to go make a tackle. Well, as he's trying to go make a tackle, the guy kind of slips by him, and it kind of pulls him down like this. Okay, so his back's like kind of down like this. And another guy, his own defender, is coming right here in his belly. And it hits him, and he's still coming forward, and his whole head kind of goes back like this towards his back. That probably looked fucking weird, but I don't care. That is basically what happened. And, like, at first he went down. Wasn't really, I mean, you really didn't see any movement. They showed the replay, and I'm like, I think I just seen someone die. Like, I thought literally I just watched someone die on the football field. And that was, really took my breath away last night. But all is good so far. So far, no CT scans have any, they did a CT scan, everything's okay. He's moving all his extremities and stuff. Hopefully he doesn't have just a broken neck. Or hopefully it's only a broken neck. If not, I hope it's nothing at all. I hope it's just like one of those, kind of relax, rest, you'll be okay. But it was bad. It was a big, it was a bummer of a hit. Really took my breath away. It was probably one of the craziest moments I've ever got to witness, like, firsthand on TV. It was a big one. I did not like it. Really, all I could do was, like, sit there and be like, whoa, what did I just watch? Like, did I literally just watch someone die on the football field? Is what I thought. But he didn't. He's good. He's all good to go. He's not going to play for, I hope, probably a long time. Probably the rest of the season, if I had to guess, because it was not good. So my thoughts and prayers out to Darrell Taylor and his family for that unfortunate event. It sucked. And those Pittsburgh Steelers fans in the stadium doing that wave while he was on the ground, getting strapped and carted off, actually stretchered off the field, sent to in the hospital immediately, doing that the wave. Come on, guys, you can do better than that. Typical celebration stuff that doesn't need to be happening at that point. I get it. You're probably bored, waiting for the game to get back on. You're all drunk. You're having a good time, but at that time, it's like sit down, like relax, like. Look at what just happened here. But like I said, thoughts and prayers are T's and P's to Darrell Taylor's family. Hope all is well. Hope his career is not over, because he has obviously a bunch of potential going forward in his NFL career. So now some other games that I haven't got to talk about. The Cowboys ended up beating the New England Patriots 35-29. The Packers ended up beating the Bears 24-14. The Colts ended up beating the Texans 31-3. Colts, they just played a shitty team, a division team actually. We really don't know what they are all about at this point. They're 2-4 right now, but good game for them. The Rams, obviously come out and beat the Giants 38-11 right away. I think the Giants took an early lead. Rams said, not today. Took it over, 38-11. Rams win. Raiders, we talked about, beat the Broncos 34-24. Good game for them, especially after losing Gruden, that whole email scandal and whatnot. So that is pretty much the whole overview of yesterday's slate of games. And tonight, we have the last game of Week 6 of the NFL 2021 regular season. Said that a little wrong. Should be the 2021 NFL regular season. The Buffalo Bills traveling to Nissan Stadium to take on the Tennessee Titans. I have the Buffalo Bills winning this game. So does Y4. So does Logan Dynamite Baumgart. And rightfully so, that should be the case. A.J. Brown, Julio Jones are both playing for the Tennessee Titans. A.J. Brown still dealing with a little bit of hamstring injury, probably going to be limited. Julio Jones, expect him to get a lot of reps. Okay, Derrick Henry's still going to obviously ball out during this game. Going to have a good one. Okay, ultimately, I still think the Buffalo Bills are just too much for any team to fucking handle right now. Josh Allen's looking awesome. Okay, Zach Moss, Devin Singletary looking like a good 1-2 punch out there. Emmanuel Sanders is looking like a solid number 2 guy, more like the number 1 guy at this point, because he's the only one getting receptions, only one getting touchdowns. Diggs, can we get some fucking fantasy points, dude? Like, come on, score a touchdown, get in the end zone. Anyway, I don't care how you do it, just get a fucking touchdown. That's what I need tonight. I need you, Josh Allen, to score 24 or something like points so I can win for once in my work league. That'd be awesome. Okay, come on, let's get it going over there. But this is going to be a fun one. It could be a close one. It also could be a blowout. All right? Expect really just what I should say, or what I would expect it to be, an exciting game, a fun game. Okay, it's not going to be a boring one, I don't think. Titans are looking like doggy doo-doo, okay? The Buffalo Bills, obviously, I got them going to Super Bowl. What else am I going to say? They're looking solid. They're looking spiffy out there, having a good one, okay? The Buffalo Bills, I have winning this game. Be ready for an overall exciting, fun game tonight on Monday Night Football on ESPN and ESPN Deportes. Deportes. Manningcast is not back this week. and I think it is back, I think next week. Okay, week 7, I believe, it is back for the Manning Cast. If you look forward to that, that is next week, I believe, or week 8. We can talk about that tomorrow more if we want to. But yeah, in about 35 minutes, 34 minutes, we have this game taking place, the Bills at the Titans, looking to be an exciting and fun game. So with that being said, that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for joining the show today. Thanks for the comment there, Logan. Keep bringing these questions, keep commenting. We will get as much as we can possibly answered. We can fill in, a lot more. I just want to basically keep today short, sweet. I mean, we have been going for fucking 50 minutes damn near, so that is awesome for me. But go have yourself a wonderful evening. Watch the Bills-Titans game. It's going to be a fun one. And you just got your fix with the Wicks. Thank you guys, and have a great